and this was in my dream. So I was in my mum's back garden, and I decided I was going to go into this neighbour's back garden. So I thought to myself, I knew in my mind that was my mum's neighbour's house and that it could have been empty. Well, it was in the back of my mind. And I was like, well, what about their garden and everything? So I went into the garden and I took the hose that was in their back garden. I started to water their front garden, their back garden. It was beautiful. Actually, it was really lovely. It was all like these wee mini hills, and it was all covered in lovely short grass, and there was wee trees and bushes. It was really, really pretty. It reminded me of like a wee Polly Pocket garden, like that's when I was a child, like those wee toys. And I'm standing hosing, cleaning, hosing and hosing down the garden, like watering the garden, watering the bushes, watering everything. And I'm thinking to myself, this is so beautiful, this is so pretty. And it was really sunny when I was outside doing it, and I went round to the front garden, and I noticed that there was a hedge around the front of the garden, and there was a gate in the middle of the hedge, but the hedge had grown over the gate. And I thought to myself, goodness, can't even get that gate open. The hedge is completely grown over. But it would be easy enough to cut it back. You know, if anybody bought the house, it would be easy enough to cut it back. And then the gate would be you'd be able to access the front of the house. And I'm just thinking all these things, and I'm watering. I've got this hose and I'm watering. And I'm thinking to myself, this is so pretty though, this is such a pretty house. But everything in the garden seemed maintained. You know, it wasn't overgrown or anything. It was as if someone did live there, but I knew they didn't. And then that was okay. I went into the house somehow. I'm in the house now. And the house is empty. It's completely empty. And in my mind, I know this because this used to be my mum's neighbours, but there's no furniture. It's and really old-fashioned wallpaper and a really old-fashioned kitchen. It all needed modernised. And I'm thinking to myself, goodness, you know, this needs a lot of work and whatever. But it was completely empty. And it wasn't cold or anything. I just knew nobody lived in this house. And all of a sudden, this couple appeared. It's a man and a woman. And they were tee-heeing and laughing, and they were giggling, and they were being really childish, and sort of were irritating me a wee bit because I was watching them, and they were just mucking about, and they were laughing. I was like, what are you laughing at? I knew they weren't laughing like at me. They were just being a nuisance. They were just being a disturbance and a nuisance. And whatever room I would go into, they would appear. They weren't doing anything. They didn't live there. They were just silly, like behaving really silly, like giggling and tickling each other and just like laughing, but not in a way like they were happy or joyous. It was done a different way. When I was looking at them, I was like, the reasons are here just to disturb, just to muck about. And I don't remember anything else in the dream. That was it. And when I woke, I was like, what was that all about? You know, the garden was lovely outside and the front gate was blocked up. No one can get in or out. So I don't know, I started thinking about this and I was like, Lord, are you telling me that? And this is what came to my mind. I have watered outside of my garden, like my garden outside of my life. The thing is, I knew this wasn't my house. There have a lot of dreams where I'm inside a house and there's furniture and stuff, or there's too much furniture, or a lot of these things represent my life. Like I've had too much furniture in my life represented just too much things going on in my life, like priorities were wrong and had multiples of everything. I was just doing too much and I had to get rid of it all, so I understood that dream. And there was another dream where the house was brand new and it was wooden. It was made of wood. It was like an old farmhouse, but a new one. And I was painting it and decorating it, and that was like newness. And then I was in another house and it was beautiful. It was fully decorated. It was like fully established, but there was a few finishing touches to do. But this house wasn't my house. I knew it wasn't my house. And I was like, Lord, what's this mean? And it came to my mind, and it was like, there's a lot of people are watering their garden, and it looks lovely from the outside, really pretty. But on the inside it's empty, and it's actually old, and it needs sign of like deterrence, or people like aggravate, like these spirit, there's like a spirit that was torturing or aggravating, and just like they were starting to frustrate me, to tell you the truth, with their behaviour. I was like, grow up. It's funny, like I felt that way. It wasn't like, oh, they're so happy, do you know, they're giggling. They weren't, they were torturing. They were being just silly. And I thought about this, and because I was like, Lord, are you telling like this is me? Because, you know, and I just thought about it. It was like, am I only watering the outside of my garden and not the inside of my house? So I spoke about this before. Your temple, your body, the inside of your life is supposed to be spirit-led, spirit-filled, and a house of prayer. That's what Jesus tells us to be, a house of prayer. And it was nearly like the outside of the garden represents like things like going to church or being seen to do things. So when people walk by a garden, it's like, oh, that's lovely and pretty and tidy. They have their life together. But actually on the outside it looks great, but on the inside you're dead. The house is dead, it's empty, it's old-fashioned, and it needs a refurb. And I was like, is this what this means, Lord? Like, people's lives. I'm talking to myself here, because I had to go on and pray. I was like, Lord, is you talking about me? And he could be, do you know? And I was like, Lord, forgive me for if my house is not a house of prayer, and it's getting old-fashioned and it's empty. But I'm going to church, I'm going to choir, I'm going to all the wee Bible studies, the things that I enjoy doing. And everybody's saying that my life's okay from the outside, but it's really not. Like, my prayer life and everything, like, it's dead. And I'm not doing enough. And then I was like, oh, hold on a minute. It's not about works. I've said this before, it's not about works. And the fact that the gate was overgrown and closed up by the hedges, no one can get in or out, there's no access. So I don't know, maybe that's a warning for someone. Is it nice and pretty on the outside? You're doing all the things that Christians do. It looks great from the outside, but like inside your body, inside your temple, inside your heart is a bit old-fashioned, it needs updated, and it's empty. It's empty. It's not filled with the Spirit. Actually, there's a few tormenting demons in there that are laughing and giggling, and they're distracting you, and they're making you frustrated, and they're just silly. They're silly. It's silly nonsense. Silly nonsense that's distracting you, that's stopping you from filling yourself up with the Holy Spirit. And you've let the hedge overgrow, and there's no access. No one can get in or out. You've locked down, and it's nearly like a wall, only it's a hedge, and the gate is there, but it's overgrown. You've let it overgrow. Oh, it's neat and tidy. The hedge looks perfectly neat and tidy, but you've let it overgrow so that no one has access to you. And your garden's beautiful. Everything you're doing on the outside is good. It's good. And this could represent someone that is like really helping other people in church. You're doing all the stuff that you should be doing, like externally. There's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful. But you just have locked yourself up. You won't let anybody access you. You've let go again. I'm gonna have to get a new holder because it's happened a couple of times. Maybe just the devil just doesn't want me to share this. So you stop letting people into your heart, into, you know, inside your Christian life to help you. And God's just saying, get your prayer life back, refurb the house, back to your first love, clean it up on the inside. You've done enough on the outside now, clean it up on the inside. Then I thought about like, oh, what's it supposed to look on the inside of us, Lord? And it's the fruits of the Spirit. You know, fruits of the Spirit. If you're living a Christian life, yourself.